If you guys want to learn how I caught these two trading setups, then stay till the end of the video. And as always, leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more future content. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In today's video, we're going to talk about my 3-step trading strategy that allowed me to catch profitable setups such as these, as you can see on the screen right now. So without further ado, let's dive straight into this breakdown. You always want to start on the daily time frame. The reason the daily time frame is extremely important is because the daily time frame is going to give you your overall bias for the entire week. Yes, you heard me right, for the entire week. A huge mistake traders may make is they dive right down to the 15-minute, and they're on the 15-minute and they're thinking, oh, well, structure, it's in a bull trend, let's buy, or oh, look, the market's in a downtrend, let's sell. The problem in this is it's much too manipulated. You have too much candles, too much information, and price cycle is in a full circle. It's like a circus. And of course, we need something precise, concise, and very simple to understand and relate to. So what I do for this is I use my favorite tool, which is the daily time frame. The daily time frame allows you to study the price action candlesticks, and these candlesticks will give you so much information that smaller time frames just generally won't give you. You know, one piece of information I can get from all of this is price is currently trading within an important level of supply because of all the rejections that the daily candles have been showing us. So for example, there's a level of supply right here, and we see that for one day, this day right over here, ever since price entered the supply zone, we had 3 days of straight bearishness and consolidation. There's not much going on over here. We can see that price was moving, sideways, and later on we figured out that there was actually liquidity here because the daily candle broke above this high and then it continued to sell off. So that's more information we got right there. Now, how do you figure out the bias? I kind of went off topic, but let's stick to the topic. To figure out the bias, it's pretty simple. All you need to do is refer back to two concepts: supply, demand, and imbalance. In this case, we can see that we have a ton of imbalance right here. But what do I mean by imbalance? Well, imbalance is going to tell you where price is heading, because imbalance is like a magnet to price. Price action is attracted towards wherever the imbalance is, and in this case we can see that there's a lot of imbalance that the market needs to mitigate. So in this case, we know that the overall bias for the daily time frame is short. Not only that, but if we refer to the second concept, which is supply demand, we'll notice that there's a demand zone over here on the daily time frame. Now, our job is not to figure out whether or not this demand zone is going to hold. All we need to know is where the market is going. That's about it. That's our job done on the daily time frame. So step one is complete. Figure out the bias. And the bias right now is bearish. There we go. Now step number two, very simple. We're just going to repeat the same step on these smaller time frames. What we're going to do now is we're going to go to the 4-hour, right? And remember, the 4-hour is not the objective time frame. You could use many different time frames, right? But it just depends on your trading style. Now, personally for me, I only trade during a specific time zone, which is London session open and the London session close. So I'm not trading after London session close. I'm not trading the New York gap. I'm simply trading and sticking to my trading time sessions, which is London session. And there we go. So what's step number two? Step number two is simply just to get an idea of what the 4-hour time frame did. Basically, refine whatever you did on the daily time frame, but on the 4-hour. Now on the 4-hour time frame, we can see that this wick right over here, this huge wick with a lot of volatility, was clearly a wick of mitigation and liquidation. How do I know this was liquidity wick? Well, simply because of the wick. You can see that price wicked above this supply, and there must have been liquidity or money resting above this area of supply because of the reaction the market had towards it. So price broke just above that level of supply. It took whatever it needed to take, and then it reversed back down. So now I have an overall idea that this is a protected high, and price can't break above this high right over here. From here, that was basically step number two done. Now we're just gonna go do the final step, which is step number three, which is to go down to the smaller time frame and trade according to your plan. Now my plan specifically tells me to only trade during London session, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm simply just going to wait for London session open, and I'm not going to touch or even look at the markets during Asia. Now it's Asia session right now, so we're not really looking to do much. We're really just waiting for price action to show us a move, where price wants to go. Now, as we did mention, the overall bias is that the market needs to go down. But in order for price to go down, it can't just randomly sell off. we need to find valid supply zones that are going to power the move. And in this case, if we look a little bit towards the left, and to make this a bit easier, we're going to start on the 1 hour. Now on the 1 hour, we're finding our supply zone. We can see that there's a supply zone over here. Now it's a bit messy because you see there's wicks over here, and these wicks are also just refined supply zones that you could refine to the smaller time frame. And then if we refine it down to this point. Now we have a supply zone right here. Now if I want to refine it even a little bit further, what I could do is I could go to the 15-minute, and what I can do now is simply identify the last candle which was unmitigated, one that has imbalance and supply demand zones. So in this case, we found a supply zone right over here that has a very tiny bit of imbalance. It's nothing crazy, but it's nonetheless still imbalanced. So we're going to mark up this 15-minute level of supply. And now I have gotten an overall idea of where the market will go to in order to continue the higher time frame continuation push downwards. So now we know for London session, we're going to be bullish until this 15-minute level of supply. And once we reach that 15-minute level of supply, we're simply going to go down. So step number 3 is literally just going down to the time zone, to the time session, to the session, and then figuring out what the smaller time frame is doing, because the smaller time frame is in collaboration with the higher time frame. So we can see that the smaller time frame is in control until we reach the higher time frame supply, and then once the higher time frame supply is mitigated, the higher time frame will take over and push the market all the way down to wherever it needs to go. So what I did in this case is I went to the 5-minute time frame. I saw that Frankfurt session has opened, and we simply just waited to see waited for a move to happen. Now at this point, I noticed there's a very clean break of structure. I identified my institutional candle at this point, which was identified right over here. And then we told the Discord members to wait for confirmation in this level. Now, if you guys want to see the proof of entry and all that good stuff, you can find it right here. As you can see, I said at everyone, this is the demand zone. It looks probable, so I'm going to be monitoring it for confirmation. And it was the same exact demand zone. And you could also see that this wasn't replay mode because we have the timestamp just towards the right. And the date is also provided at the top for anyone who wants that reference. So this was the 4-minute level of demand that we were waiting for price to trace back into. And as you can see, this is exactly what the market did. It goes back into our demand zone, and then from there it just pushed up all the way into our level of supply. So boom, this was a very good trade. I didn't actually execute this over here. We had a much better entry somewhere along the lines of there. We can just refer back to the Discord once again. You guys can figure out where we actually entered. So the first entry was just over here, as you guys can see, and then we also provided the proof of entry. You can see that as well, until the market eventually just ended up hitting our TP all the way to our supply zone, which you guys can find right here. Now once price action mitigated our supply zone, right, TP hit, call it a day. What's next? Next, all you want to do is repeat the same process once again. So all I want to see now is price action change structure, break structure, and this is exactly what I saw. So I saw price reaches my supply zone. Once it reached the supply zone, all we did next was wait for a BOS, and as soon as we got that BOS, I refined the level to this level of supply right here. Some of you might be wondering why I use this level of supply. Well, the reason I use this level of supply is mainly because of two things. One, it was unmitigated, and secondly, it had imbalance. Now you guys might be wondering, why didn't I choose this level of supply? The truth is, I was expecting both to play out. The only thing was I didn't know which one was actually going to hold. So I had both of these on my mind, but I had this one and this one both in my mind. But I was more confident in this one just because of intuition and gut feelings. So as you guys can see, I sent both of these zones out, and I notified all the members that these are the sell zones for Euro USD, because now we're officially in the level of supply. And then as you can see, a couple of traders, they may have set limits. I don't know. I think we set a limit. I'll provide you got all with the screenshot of the entry later on. But yeah, so this was the entry, and I'm not even gonna try to do this justice. Let's just skip all the way to the end, and you guys can see for yourself exactly how far this sell really, how far it sold off for. So this is the same zone, as you guys can see, and if we zoom out, just take a look at that. So we literally sold off for about 69 RR, no pun intended. We literally sold off for about 70 RR until the market finally reached our daily level of demand, and then from there we started our reversal. So this is how you can catch setups just like these, and as you guys all saw, these were sent to the Discord before they were executed, And if you guys want proof that this was executed, you guys can see it right over here. So I hit the lot size, but this was the proof of execution. And we waited for a little bit more confirmation, so it wasn't exactly at that level of supply. It wasn't exactly over here, but it was nonetheless, around the same area. Now the Discord has been doing absolutely amazing. We haven't stopped there. We've been continuously, killing these markets. If you guys want to see more proof, just take a look at this. We sent out this execution, this Euro USD sell zone on the, which was this? This was on the 22nd of February. We were monitoring both zones for confirmation. We took a long up to the point, and then you guys can see exactly that price respected our supply zone and sold off from there immensely. And as you guys saw, all of these have been sent to the group chat, and we've all just been doing very well, alhamdulillah. That's all I really have to say. If you guys have any questions, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is @TRAQFX. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to join the course to learn how to take execution and entries like these, let's get in contact and let's work. Without further ado, I'll see you on the next one. Peace.